Amy wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning, just as the first light of dawn begins to paint the sky soft pink and gold. Before she even sits up, she reaches for her small gratitude journal on the nightstand. She writes one simple sentence: I am thankful for a new day. This little habit makes her smile and reminds her that each morning brings a fresh chance to learn something and grow. She slips out of bed and stands up slowly, feeling her feet on the cool floor. Amy stretches her arms high above her head and holds the position for a few breaths. Then she bends gently to touch her toes, letting her back muscles unwind. After that, she practices a 1-minute power pose in front of her mirror. Standing with her hands on her hips and her chest open, she breathes in deeply and says to herself, I am strong and ready. With every inhale, she feels confidence filling her body. Next, Amy walks over to her bedroom window and pushes it open. A light breeze drifts in, carrying the scent of dew-wet grass and distant flowers. She closes her eyes, breathes in the fresh air for 3 slow counts, holds for 2, and breathes out fully. Each cycle of mindful breathing makes her feel calm and energized at the same time. Today, she thinks, she will carry this clear, peaceful feeling with her as she moves through everything. In the bathroom, she steps into a quick power shower. Warm water streams over her shoulders and back, washing away any last traces of sleep. The gentle spray feels like a wake-up call for her skin and hair. She brushes her teeth, splashes her face with cool water, and pats it dry. Afterward, she lays out her clothes on the bed, a pair of soft jeans and a bright t-shirt. As she slips into them, she feels comfortable and ready for action. Downstairs in the kitchen, Amy's mother has already prepared breakfast. On the table, 2 slices of toast lie shimmering with butter and honey, and a small pot of warm tea sends up thin curls of steam. Amy sits beside her mother and takes a bite of the toast, savoring the gentle sweetness. Between bites, she turns to her mother with a playful grin and asks a short English quiz. What does sip mean? Her mother answers, to drink slowly, and they both say together, I sip my tea slowly. This little game adds laughter to their morning and makes English practice feel fun and natural. When breakfast is finished, Amy fetches her school bag and places it on the table. She pulls out her planner and her timetable and checks each item one by one: textbooks, notebook, pens, water bottle. She ticks each box with satisfaction. Then she writes a note in her planner. Practice 3 new words today. This simple checkoff routine helps her feel organized and ensures she is ready for anything the day might bring. At 7:30, Amy steps out the front door with her backpack on her shoulders. She walks with a light step down the small path to the bus stop. Just as the bus comes into view, she puts on her headphones and opens a short English podcast on her phone. Today's episode talks about healthy morning habits, and Amy follows along, repeating new phrases under her breath. Morning is my time. I feel energized. By the time the bus arrives, she has already practiced several spoken sentences, and she steps onto the bus feeling proud and alert. As the bus pulls away from her stop, Amy settles into a seat by the window. She watches the quiet streets pass by, reflecting on her morning routines, gratitude, stretching, mindful breathing, a power pose, a quick shower, breakfast bonding, packing with purpose, and podcast practice. Each habit has helped her body wake up, her mind focus, and her English improve a little bit more. With a soft smile, she leans back and prepares for whatever the new day will bring. Amy arrives at school just as the bell rings at 8 o'clock. She walks into a bright classroom filled with soft morning light. Posters with encouraging phrases like dream big gig and keep learning line the walls. Her classmates chat quietly and arrange their books on the desks. Amy greets her teacher with a warm, "Good morning," and takes her seat beside Lily. The cheerful atmosphere makes her feel eager for the day ahead. The teacher begins with a fun word scramble game. She writes a mixed up word on the board, and students race to unscramble the letters to form an English word. Amy's heart beats faster with excitement as she works with her partner to solve TCEHRA, which becomes teacher. When they guess correctly, the class applauds, and Amy feels proud. This game helps her remember new vocabulary and makes learning feel like play. Next, the class moves on to their favorite subject, English. The teacher reads a short poem by Robert Frost aloud, and every student listens carefully. Amy loves poetry because it feels musical and full of feeling. She volunteers to recite a few lines from memory. Standing confidently, she says, "Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both." Her classmates listen in silence, and Amy can hear her own voice steady and clear. When she finishes, the classroom fills with soft applause. Amy's heart swells with happiness. She realizes that speaking aloud in English is becoming easier each day. After the poem, the teacher divides the students into small groups for a mini presentation activity. Amy's group decides to talk about their favorite hobbies. They settle around a table and brainstorm ideas. Lily says she loves painting, while another friend, Mark, says he enjoys playing basketball. Amy shares that she likes dancing to my favorite songs. Together, they organize their ideas on a poster board. Amy writes simple sentences like, "I dance to pop music," and "I paint landscapes." When it is their turn to speak, Amy stands in front of the class and presents with a smile. She notices how much her confidence has grown since she first started school. At 10:30, the second bell rings for a short break. Amy and Lily head to a quiet corner of the hallway and open their snack bags. Amy takes out a handful of grapes while Lily has a granola bar. To make the break more fun and educational, they decide to play a quick round of charades. Lily whispers a word and Amy acts it out silently. When Amy jumps and waves her arms, Lily guesses jump. Then Amy guesses Lily's word, sleep. Each correct guess brings happy laughter and a stronger memory of the words they practice. Soon it is time for lunch, and Amy walks with her friends to the cafeteria. The wide room smells of warm soup and fresh bread. Amy finds Lily and two other classmates at a round table. She opens her lunchbox and takes out a cheese sandwich and an apple. Before she eats, she practices ordering in English. "May I have a cheese sandwich, please?" she asks the cafeteria worker. The worker smiles and replies, "Certainly." Amy thanks her and sits down with her friends. They talk about their morning classes and share funny stories about their pets. The gentle hum of conversation makes Amy feel part of a caring community. After lunch, the class moves to the science lab for an experiment on surface tension. Amy and her partner carefully fill a shallow dish with water, then sprinkle a small pinch of pepper on top. When they add a drop of dish soap, the pepper quickly scatters to the edges. Amy watches in wonder and writes in her notebook. Soap pushes pepper to the side. She practices saying this sentence out loud to improve her pronunciation. The hands on activity makes science feel alive and helps her learn new vocabulary like surface, tension, and scatter. When the final bell rings at 3 o'clock, Amy gathers her books and heads to the library for the English club meeting. A small group of students practices pronunciation exercises with tongue twisters, such as, "She sells seashells by the seashore." Amy repeats the phrase slowly, focusing on each sound. Her friend Rosa corrects her gently when she mixes up seashells and seashore. This extra practice boosts Amy's confidence in speaking English. On her way home, Amy rides the bus and opens an English learning app on her phone. She scrolls through a list of new words and listens to their pronunciation. She repeats each word quietly under her breath. Experiment, confident, community. By the time her stop arrives, she has practiced several times and feels more comfortable with the new words. If the weather is warm, Amy gets off one stop early and takes a short walk through a nearby park. She lets the sunshine warm her face and listens to birds singing. Pulling out her phone, she records a 1-minute voice memo describing the scene. The sun is bright, the air is cool, and birds are singing. Later, she listens back and repeats the sentences to practice her speaking and listening skills. This peaceful stroll between school and home fills her with calm and joy. As she nears her front gate, Amy reflects on the heart of her day, learning new words, sharing laughter with friends, and discovering how much fun English can be. After the bus ride, Amy arrives home and drops her backpack by the door. She takes a moment to rest and picks up a small handful of almonds for a quick snack. Then she sits at her tidy desk and pulls out her colorful flashcards. She reviews each card, looking at the English word, recalling its meaning, and saying it aloud. This simple exercise helps her remember new vocabulary from today's lessons. When she finishes reviewing, Amy joins her mother in the kitchen. Together, they set the table with plates and utensils. Amy practices English cooking terms as she helps. "I fold the napkins," she says. "I set the forks." Then her mother shows her how to make French toast. Amy cracks 2 eggs, dips the bread slices, and watches them sizzle lightly in the pan. She listens carefully and repeats each instruction in English. Cooking with her mother reminds Amy that learning can happen everywhere, even in everyday chores. At 6:30, the family gathers around the dinner table. The warm light and gentle chatter feel comforting. Amy's mother brings out a steaming bowl of chicken soup and a plate of pasta. Before they begin, each person shares a word of the day. Amy chooses grateful, her brother picks experiment, and her father says community. They each use their word in a sentence. Amy says, "I am grateful for our family meal." This shared moment turns vocabulary into a warm family tradition. After dinner, Amy's family moves to the living room to watch short movie trailers in English. They play a guessing game. What do you think this story is about? Amy listens closely to the dialogue in the trailer and tries to repeat key phrases. Her little sister laughs as she mimics a dramatic line. This playful activity makes English listening practice feel light and fun. At 8 o'clock, Amy steps into a warm shower saucer to wash away the day's activity. She changes into soft pajamas, brushes her teeth, and climbs into bed. Tonight, she listens to an English audiobook of a short children's story. As she hears each sentence, she reads the text on her phone. This combination of listening and reading helps her feel calm and ready for sleep. Before turning off the light, Amy opens her gratitude journal one last time. She writes, "Today I learned flashcards and cooked French toast." And then she writes a goal for tomorrow. I will use grateful in a sentence at school. Satisfied, she closes her journal, turns off the bedside lamp, and drifts into sleep, excited for another day of learning and growth. Amy's story shows us how a day full of small, simple habits can turn into a journey of learning and growth. From the moment she woke at 6 o'clock, Amy began with a gratitude journal entry, giving thanks for a new day. She stretched her body and held a power pose to build confidence. Mindful breathing at her open window helped her feel calm and awake. A quick, warm shower refreshed her, and she dressed in comfortable clothes to face the morning with ease. At breakfast, Amy shared a playful English quiz with her mother as they enjoyed toast and tea together. Checking her timetable and packing her bag with care made her feel organized and ready. During her commute, she listened to an English podcast and repeated new phrases quietly. In class, word scrambles and poem recitals sharpened her vocabulary, while group presentations and charades built teamwork and confidence. Lunchtime practice ordering in English at the cafeteria showed her that real life moments can become learning moments. In the afternoon, hands-on experiments in the science lab brought new words to life. After school, the English club helped her practice pronunciation with tongue twisters. A learning app on the bus ride home and a sunshine stroll with a voice memo deepened her listening and speaking skills. These steps turned an ordinary walk into an English lesson full of curiosity and calm. Back home, Amy used flashcards to review the day's vocabulary. Helping her mother cook French toast taught her life skill words in the kitchen. At dinner, the family's word of the day tradition added warmth to her learning. Movie trailer guessing games made listening fun, and an evening shower and cozy pajamas signaled the end of the day. Listening to an English audiobook while reading soothed her mind. Finally, Amy reflected in her journal, wrote today's new words, and set a simple goal for tomorrow, ready to sleep with a sense of pride and purpose. The true lesson from Amy's day is that consistent, small actions, when guided by curiosity, gratitude, and a desire to learn, can create meaningful progress in any skill, including language. You can apply this by starting each morning with a moment of thanks, weaving English practice into daily chores, and ending each day with brief reflection and planning. Over time, these tiny steps build confidence, deepen understanding, and make learning a natural part of your life. Congratulations on listening all the way through Amy's story. You have practiced your English listening skills and learned many new words. Now let's have a quick quiz to check your understanding. What did Amy use to start her morning with a positive mindset? A. Writing in her gratitude journal. B. Playing video games. Please comment A or B below to share your answer. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to our channel. Your support keeps us motivated to create more valuable lessons. If you can, consider donating to help cover our costs. We offer all of this content for free to help you learn English, and your support makes a big difference. Thank you.